Alright, this is what we're making today. It's a waterer for some poultry, and one of my bantams just had 5 little baby chicks, and so I wanted to come up with an easy way to water them, and this will give them 2 liters of water to last them, quite a while. It's just made out of an old soda bottle. This is some wire I bent. If you didn't want to bend the wire like this, you can just get some pipe strapping, like this stuff right here. You can get it at Home Depot. And you could have put a piece across here, would have really actually been quite a bit easier. So really on this, the only thing I bought was this little nipple off of eBay, and you can get 10 or 20 of them for just a couple of bucks. So it makes for a really cheap water. Okay, let's get started. All right, so I've cut a board. This is one of my rough milled boards, so it's like it would be like a 1x6, and I just cut it off long enough so I've got enough room up here that I can, put a nail or something to attach this to the wall later. And cut a piece, the piece I cut off, I'm now going to line up, and I need to get it lined up here so that I can drill a hole to for my spout to drop down through. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of hold this and mark it out. Now I can stand it up and get a better perspective on it. Alright, it doesn't have to be exact because I'm going to drill it out oversized. I mean, it can be, that big around would be just fine. So alright, let's get this over to the drill press and get this drilled out. Alright, so we got our hole drilled out, and I used a 2-inch Forstner bit, but you could use a spade bit or, anything that you have available, a hole saw. But let's see how it fits up. Like that, and then that'll sit there like that. Alright, so let's get this cut off and then we'll get it attached to this. Alright, I went ahead and chopped these corners off while I had it there. Let me get this nailed on. Alright, so to make the wire that goes across the top to hold the bottle in, we're going to start by just turning an eye on the end. Let's see, I gotta take all these out. Alright, so this is a piece of 4-inch PVC, and I'm just going to use that to kind of get my curve on here. Like that. So I think, let's see how that'll do. Yeah, that ought to do just fine. Okay, so I'm going to nip this end off and then make another loop on here. Alright, so I'm bending the loop on our second side here. This wire's pretty darn stiff. I should have left a little more hanging out. That's why I'm having difficulty. Alright, so we're going to get this put on. Next thing we've got to do is get our waterer put into the bottom. Alright, so you're going to need a 1/8 inch pipe tap, and you can get that at the hardware store. What we're going to do is we're going to screw this in to help hold it for us. Then I'm going to start out with like a 3/16 bit. I would have used something else, but this one I know is sharp, so Try to get near the center. That kind of gets my hole started. Then finish it out. All right, then I'm going to take my tap and I'm actually going to chuck it into my drill. And then try to line it up straight. Don't go in very far because the pipe tap is tapered and you want a tight fit. And again, also don't tighten this down too much because the threads that you cut in this cap are really thin, so you don't want to overstress them. Okay, now I need to put a hole in here. There's water in here because I was just playing with it. When you put this in there, these are supposed to be used with low pressure, like 10 psi or maybe even 4 or 5 psi. So when you get enough water out of here that it needs a little air to go up, it can't get the air, and so the water stops. So we need to put a little hole in here. You could drill that hole. I'm going to burn it. Just take a nail and heat it up. If you don't want to do this, you could just drill the hole. Sometimes drilling in this thin plastic is kind of hard to do, so that right there is all it will take. And then of course when you fill it, you're going to have to cover that hole and then fill it up. Put your cap on and turn it over, so you don't lose water out of there. Okay, here it is all installed in the barn. You can see I've got it close to the ground. That's so that the chicks can reach it. And I don't know, you've probably used this type of water before, and that's what I was using for them, and I got frustrated. You fill it up and about 15 minutes later they've got dirt and all kind of stuff kicked up into here and got it nasty. So that's why I decided to make this, and it's actually been hanging here for a couple of weeks or several weeks, and they've been using it just fine. They're actually, well, there they are right now. They're almost grown. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this project. Thank you for watching.